Welcome back to This Week in Moto from around the world. And this is live. So make sure you hit a comment down here. We already have one guy in the house saying that he just finished grooming the track for his kids. Dude, for the grandkids even. Man, I need a grandpa like you. Thanks for joining the show. We have lots to cover. Big news. Big news. And don't mind SpongeBob being played in the background. Is it for me or is it for daddy daycare? Who knows? Anyway, let's make this sucker short and sweet, almost like an amateur moto where it's 3 laps and then you got to wait for 6 hours or something for Moto 2s to start. That's an interesting joke there. Anyway, let's get into the biggest news that just hit. It is so many guys are like coming out of retirement and people are getting fired all over the place. So let's add my screen here. That is for the wrong YouTube channel. Boom! Antonio Caroli, one of my heroes. He is back racing. It's not just the Italian GP with what they were originally doing with Ducati, where they were going to win that and then they were going to unveil their bike at MXGP in 2025. Well, no, next weekend we're going to see Antonio Caroli hit it. I don't know.
Ducati MX, so see you in Arnhem 17 and 18 of August. Ciao ragazzi, big news di agosto, giusto per rallegrarvi un po' le ferie. Tornerò in una gara di campionato del mondo in MXGP.
Heck yeah, he is racing MXGP on the new Desmo Ducati. How do you guys think he's going to do with the likes of Hurling and Prado? Top 10, maybe top 5? Is he going to get on the podium? I wouldn't be surprised if this SOP gets on the freaking podium. Along with, we've got some other news. This is honestly really cool. Hey, look, there's more MXGP ads. Okay. MotoGP and Alpine Star have had these very expensive, what are they? Leathers, right? Leathers that you fall down, the airbags pop out. So, you keep your nutsack intact and you don't hurt anything, especially because, riding like an R6 or something, you just have a massive boner the entire time because you're doing 250 kilometers an hour. Your elbows are tight, man. Your tears are moving because even the windscreen's not even enough. You're just freaking in the effing zone. Forgive my explicitness, but that's just how you feel. You're in there, right? Anyway, back to the dumb analogy here. Those airbag systems. Well, now they've got an airbag system for moto. It's been hard. I've talked to lots of guys. I've even talked to some guys over at Alpine Star. Like, how are you supposed to do something like this? Because there's so much movement on a dirt bike because you're going left to right, you're scrubbing. That it was almost the reason as to why fuel injection took so long, because Ricky Carmichael, when he was testing out the Suzukis, he was leaning the bike too far over with his scrubs and his whips to where that bike would bog with the fuel injection. Same thing with this. If you were to do like a massive scrub, like a Justin Barsha or, even James Stewart, and all of a sudden that airbag goes off and it makes you crash, well, that is basically enough to make your stock cripple worse than the yen, if you get that joke. Financial crisis. Anyway, there's lots of liquidity in the market now. Everything is going to all-time highs. I'm incredibly bullish on everything, including moto, but that is what we're talking about, moto. And this guy seems as if there's no shoulder protection, right? And this is the thing that I complain about all the freaking time, that these guys have separated shoulders and they break their collarbones because they don't have any protection. I've got a grade 3 because of it, broken my collarbones several times, got 12 screws in this one as well. It's all because you're not wearing shoulder protection. And there's something about pros wearing less and less protection. And it's just for the movement thing. However, had the inventor of the Atlas brace on, and we talked a lot about just that, safety. And as a weekend warrior, even ex-pro and guys that are amateur pros and guys that are even privateers, having more equipment, safety equipment, is going to have your longevity of your career. It's just going to be better. So here, let's look down at the bottom here and let me zoom in on this because the live is just a little difficult. Oh, what did I do? Did I take a screenshot? I don't know. But look at this. So there's no shoulders, but then when it gets released, boom, all of a sudden you've got back protection. Awesome for the spine. chest protection, awesome for the ribs and protection of the lungs and somewhat of a kidney area here. And then the shoulders, definitely going to keep down AC joints and collarbone breaks. In my opinion, this is a revolutionary upgrade for moto protection, and I am happy to freaking see it. It is uneffing believable. I'm glad to be living in an age where we're getting so much technology, including the Stark bikes. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, we got Cooper.
Still not exactly where I want to be, but excited to be announcing I'll be headed to Dillon. We'll be racing. Excited to see all the fans and see where we stack up.
So Cooper Webb is returning to motocross this weekend at Unadilla. He's probably wanting to get his feet wet a little bit so that he can do the last few rounds and get ready for the Super Motocross Championship. And he had a good break. So everybody, like the likes of Sexton, and I would really say Hunter Lawrence, he would have needed, or it probably would have been an advantage for him to take a little bit of time off. Yes, he's had 2 weeks off, which is awesome, right? But these guys are feeling ready to go. Ken Roczen, even. This is going to be an exciting race to watch. This is probably the most exciting race this weekend. To what would be next would be the Super Motocross Championships in Vegas. This is the race that I am personally the most excited about because of the return of Ken Roczen and Webb. Not sure if Tomac is going to return this weekend or next weekend, but that is up in the air as well. Then we also have Shane McElrath. He is on the team with Ken Roczen, but you'll notice that his bike does not say Progressive right on the shrouds. It's more of Twisted T, because we know that he is not riding the same motorcycle as Ken Roczen. 1000%, that's what I believe. It is not the same effing motorcycle. Ken Roczen is a phenom. He'll make a stock bike look good, but in order to win, you need to have a good bike. And that's what he did. He set himself up for success, found a team that was going to cut budgets from potentially other people and put it onto his bike and whatever. That is my belief. You can argue with me in the comments. And this individual got fired. And he says, obviously, it's not ideal to switch teams. Does he say anything more? That he got terminated, best looking forward, and the contract with 6 rounds left is a bummer. Well, who did he get replaced by? Well, it was Colt Nichols. Colt Nichols is going to be riding his bike. Colt Nichols is no longer on beta. So did Colt Nichols say, hey, see you later, beta. We got Twisted T over here helping me out. And this is one of the teams that has a winning rider, Ken Roczen, on it. So he can at least learn from it. So Shane McElrath is now going to move to an MX Kawasaki team. Here, did I have that up here? I thought I did. Darn. One moment, guys. One moment. There we go. So this is Shane's new Kawasaki team. He's going to go to MX for Christ, Galaxy Cloaking Kawasaki. And I would want to say that he's probably going to have just as good of results as he did on the Twisted T, because truthfully, I don't believe that this was a good bike whatsoever. And here he says, with 6 rounds left, it was not a mutual decision on my part. He got freaking canned and fired. In other news, you've got one of the best riders ever to swing a leg over a motorcycle, Ryan Villopoto, switching it up. It's funny how he switched brands and loyalty after retiring, and he's been a Yamaha ambassador forever. And he does the Title 24 show with Carmichael, which is an excellent podcast. I love his take on things throughout the entire Supercross season. It has been phenomenal to listen to this guy's insights. So that is definitely a podcast that I love to listen to and recommend it to my viewers as well. Ryan Villopoto is going to make a stop at the Supercross Series in Germany, August 17th and 18th. And we know these guys pay well. So he's going to have a fat check for going over there too. I wonder how he feels, because there's lots of nerves with after being retired. And you're like, man, do I want to really hit some whoops? Let's ask Jason Lawrence about when he was returning to Club MX and having to hit some whoops for a while. He was like, oh, dude, I'm piecing out of this. This is, this little too much, makes that butthole just go a little bit, you got to keep stuff moving, right? And that's a good way to get backed up for sure. So I will definitely be paying attention to see how Ryan Villopoto does, because you also have other riders where you the Lawrence brothers, they're going overseas to Australia to race the Australian Championship, rather, at least the one in Melbourne, not World Supercross, but Melbourne. There is so much racing action going on. And we also have, which I did not have loaded here, so bear with me while I move this over here, because of Marchbanks now switching to Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Who's going to fill in for him? Well, Zach Osbourne is coming off the couch. And this guy is a motocross champion for the 450s back when there was the dreaded asterisk series where you had multiple Lorettas for round 1, 2, something like that. It was just crazy. Shorter series, but they got it done. Anyway, he is going to be potentially racing there in Unadilla on a 250F. Interesting. I want to see how well he's doing. There's lots of action going on this week. Among other news, Troy Lee buys back his company. This is a little bit later. This happened last week, but after my live show and the news for this week in moto from around the world, there was gas that is potentially cutting all sorts of costs, and they removed Troy Lee. So that wasn't a Troy Lee Designs, that is, as the series sponsor for that team. They're cutting costs. They're cutting costs all over the place, from MXGP to other overseas racing to arena cross stuff to here in America. So Troy Lee is now in control of his company. We will see if he backs any other team. Is it going to be another Troy Lee Designs KTM team? Because Gasgas is gone, we'll see. Or maybe he's just going to continue with just his gear company and the helmet painting. I don't know, but it's good to see this guy being a, I want to say, innovator in the sport for darn near a decade. And basically, the last thing I'm going to talk about is Bam Bam. He's going to return to racing. He's had some injuries, but he is selling his property, Bam Land. How many acres is this sucker? 34.5 acres. 1 motocross track, 2 supercross tracks, full gym and sauna and pond, race shop, apartment, bulldozer, track, maintenance equipment. This to me looks like a couple $1 million property right here for this sucker. And maybe something like a Club MX could form out there to create another training facilities, but with the way rates are and just everyone penny pinching, because I believe the, what is it? Credit card debt is at an all-time high of like $1.27 trillion. So we're definitely in need of some rate cuts that are going to happen because big banks have to refinance their debt. Maybe if you were in the market of looking for this, wait till September, maybe the end of the year, early 2025, where rates do get cut. So, you can borrow money cheaper. Whew. But that is a beautiful place to see that it is being sold. Lots of Planet Fitness equipment. That's all from Mike Grundle, because he was the original owner of Planet Fitness before he sold it. And he was one of the team owners of Geico Honda before Geico decided to kind of screw them over and sponsor the series rather than just a team. That's why you have the 15-minute break during the middle of the races. Anyway, last couple comments I will do, and we will end the live stream. Oh, this guy is RFC is saying that TLD was going to Ducati. That would be great, right? I'm still up in the air about Deegan and Ken Roxon in 2026 going to Ducati, or at least Tomac. They're going to have to get some sort of a elite rider for that team. Looking at, hey, this is awesome. Yes, man. Isaac, appreciate you, dude. Like the video. Yes, absolutely. If I add any value to you guys whatsoever, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and it helps me make more content and be candid with you guys. We got another guy saying, "Bro, Zach." Oh, okay. Zach backed out of Unadilla. He said he was going to race, but wasn't ready for up to his fitness standards. All right. Well, caveat. Thank you, YouTube, and thank you, Moto community, for updating us all that Zach Osbourne is now out, because the PDF I have from Club MX was actually Tuesday. So it is now Thursday. So things do change as the week progresses. Well, that seems as if that should do it. Ooh, have any predictions on how Adam is going to do? We've got the champion. I think he got the Loretta Lynn Heisman Trophy Award. How is he going to do is it going to be Budds Creek? I believe he's going to Budds Creek. I doubt he's going to race Unadilla right after Loretta, but he may, or might be Ironman too. With a stack field like that for his first race, we saw Deegan when he first showed up out there. He was like 9th, right? And got 20th or so. Everyone was calling him a big dud. And it's just, you got to get used to the new pro ranks in the 30 minutes plus 2 laps. So for that, I want to say give this kid a break, and he will definitely be top 20, but that would be a win for him, just getting his feet wet. We're no longer in the realm of when you have a rider like the caliber of Chad Reed, James Stewart, Ryan Dungey, where as soon as they come out of Loretta, they're already winning races. There's so much talent now and so much technology advancements in the sport. It's hard to compete with that stuff. Carmichael was a guy that came over here and decided to, hey, work ethic and mindset and just basically fitness is going to get me where I want to go. Well, everyone basically can have those. That's a given. Then we need the little talent thing. And this is a talent individual. So we'll do that. All right. Last question that I have here is from Danny with 94, and number 2 will be good. Volcano green lava, orange, volcano green lava. Yeah, it's going to be a great race. Great freaking race at Unadilla. It's going to be spectacular for, well, RV is not, oh no, number 2, Cooper Webb. Why am I thinking RV? Because I did say earlier RV was racing Supercross, but he was the original number 2, Cooper Webb. Yes, it's going to be a battle. However, Ken Roxon, in my opinion, is a better motocross rider than Cooper Webb. Cooper Webb is more of a naturally gifted, smooth, analytical rider, so Supercross helps him. So I definitely think Ken Roxon might even win this weekend. Should we just throw out the prediction right now? And I'll probably put one on my YouTube community page after this. But can Ken Roxon win at Unadilla? I'm going to say, yes, he does. He beats Sexton at least one moto. At least one moto. That is my prediction. As always, you guys keep it WFO. That's wide effing open. Till next time. Bra-da-da-da-da-wa!